Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you here on this Wednesday. It's a family day. We've got Hall of Famer Rick Bozich with us. We've got future Indiana Athletics Hall of Famer Jordan Hall with us, the newest staffer, who's still in Germany. Still during the day, he's got his youngster at home, one's in school. Now you've got three. Where's the other one?
Baby girl's with mama going to get big brother, but little guy had to come home a little earlier today, so we get to hang out a little bit, don't we, bud? Yeah, he's just watching some TV while I do this, but yeah, it's everything is great, man. Kids are growing up fast, and really can't complain. Exciting times.
No more sauerkraut. They have to like that, surely.
Hey, they've lived more in Germany than they have in Indiana. So.
It's amazing. It is. Rick Bozich with us as well. Rick, how are you, brother?
Hold on one second.
Doing good. Post Kentucky Derby, quiet time this week, and congratulations to Jordan. I saw the news on Monday. Thought it was a tremendous move by Mike Woodson, and the one thing I like about it, it's Coach Woodson's from the Knight era. Coach Hulls is from the Crean era. It's good for Indiana to get players from all the different eras involved and pulling together. I think there have been times when the program and the fan base really hasn't been unified, but I think Coach Woodson has done a lot to change that narrative, and I think it'll help IU basketball.
Well, and I agree with that. And as a matter of fact, I said that earlier. Hey, Leo, how are you, buddy?
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you happy to be moving back home, or do you even know what that is? Nah.
Yeah, you're happy though. Big brother.
He's always happy. Always happy.
Always happy. Okay.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? What were we talking about? Hey, well, your White Sox won. They won last night, right?
They did win, and the kid from the University of Louisville who was at U of L 2 years ago was drafted in 2020, pitched a no-hitter for the Angels, Reed Detmers.
Wow, we'll have to get on that later on.
Yeah.
So Indiana makes the move to get Jordan Hulls, which I know what it was. You're talking about all the moves are being made. I said earlier, there has been a 2-decade period where Indiana has just done nothing but made boneheaded move after boneheaded move, written and signed boneheaded contracts. Now, finally, for like a consecutive year or two, we're seeing positive things that are moving the program forward. Everything is moving in a forward direction, and that has not been the case since Bob Knight was here, basically. I mean, there were some years, of course, in 2013 where they hit the up and down, but it didn't. After these guys left, it wasn't sustained. And but this is just seems like everything's moving in a positive direction.
Yeah, I mean, I look around at different fan bases because I travel a lot, seeing teams in the SEC covering Kentucky, teams in ACC seeing Louisville, and then seeing teams in the Big Ten covering IU and. The successful programs, look at Duke. That's like really critical to the success of their program. They call it, quote, the brotherhood. And when John Shire just brought Jay Lucas in from Kentucky staff, that's the first time in 25 years, really, they've had a non-Duke guy on their staff. And they really go out of their way to create a feeling of, a connectivity between players of all the different generations. And I think that helps. I'm not saying it's a key factor in, winning a championship or something, but it helps create the culture that you want to build. And I think Mike Woodson is trying to do that, Jordan, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been, for me, it's an awesome opportunity. And even before all this stuff was happening the last, couple of weeks, you could definitely see a trend in how the program was going. And for me and my family to be part of that and be part of a great staff, it's something that I've always dreamt of doing, coming back home and doing that. There's only a few things in this world that would make me retire basketball early, and coming back to be on Indiana staff is one of them. And obviously I did my research, my homework. I tried to be as well prepared as I could and understand what I'm getting into. But after all that, this is an opportunity that we are more than thankful for. And, you know, I'm going to work my tail off. You know, I'm going to come in and do whatever I need to do to help the program. And I'm really excited to learn from Coach Woodson and the rest of the staff. You know, this is a whole different ball game for me, but I know that, you know, I'm not afraid of the work. It's all things that I'm super excited to be part of.
Because you could have, I was talking about this for a while. You're at the top of your game right now. I mean, you're playing as well as you've ever played. You're shooting 45% from three. The Indiana could use you. But I know you could play another couple of years and probably were planning on doing that. So it took some doing for them to get you out of there, even though it's, you know, you're in Germany, the family's in Germany. So I can imagine this was a tough decision for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult just because, you know, although former players can attest to this too, you never know when it's going to happen, and you feel like you can play forever, but that's definitely not the case. And well, I definitely was planning on playing for another couple of years until this opportunity came up, and after, you know, long talks and praying about it and going through the pros and cons, and you know, this is something that, you know, I'd be silly to not even consider or and pass it up. So I was super thrilled to even have the chance to get this job. And yeah, like you said, I've been playing well, and for me to hang up the shoes on a higher note, and the game isn't forcing me to retire. I'm choosing to go a different path, and a path that I think is better for me and my family and our future. You know, play 2 or 3 more years, and then an opportunity like this doesn't exist when I'm done, or jump on it now and try and make the most of it and get right into it and put my family, you know, family's the most important thing to me. And that's what Indiana is all about as well. So I'm really excited to be part of that family and bringing my own family back home, you know, back to Bloomington, where we already have a house. My parents live there. Her parents aren't far away. It's time. You know, my kids are 5 years old, 3 and 1.5. My parents aren't getting any younger. My in-laws aren't getting any younger. They're missing their cousins. You know, all sorts of things go into play when you just talk about the family aspect of it. But basketball-wise too, this is all I've done. It's all my kids have seen their papa do is play basketball. But now they're going to see what Papa grew up doing himself, going to IU basketball games, being an IU fan, and for me to be on staff and they get to see me grow in a different way. I think that's really special.
It's kind of like exactly what you went through. You're the reason you were in Bloomington is because your grandfather was a part of Bob Knight's staff at Army, and he came to Indiana in '71 when Bob Knight was hired. And that's kind of the same path that you know the see that growing up. I mean, that is very, very influential, obviously.
No question. I think, you know, when me and my wife sit down and talk about it, and you know, we have this to think about, we have that to think about, but for us, and you kind of bring it full circle, is, you know, this is where everything started for me. My love for basketball, you know, my mom's dad was a professor at Indiana. Like, it's all I've ever known. So, and for my kids to grow up in that same environment, I don't think they really had a choice whether we were in Germany or Bloomington. They were going to be Hoosiers regardless. But for us to have this opportunity to start a new chapter of our lives, it's pretty remarkable. And you know, we're really excited about it. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be easy leaving the game and leaving the life that we've built over here, because we do love it. Our kids are learning a different language, different culture, and it's all they've ever known too. So, but it's just the right time. It's the right situation. It's perfect fit. And I'm really eager to get back and to learn what I need to in order to help the program best I can.
Rick?
Jordan, do you know what's your earliest memory of IU basketball, or the first game you ever went to?
Earliest memory, I remember always going to Hoosier Hysteria, just, you know, whether I was 5 years old, I can't remember the exact age, but I was definitely very young, and we brought our cans for the food drive, and we got to go sit up in the top balcony and like just see. It was midnight too. At that time, that's when it was actually at midnight. So for us, it's like, oh, we get to stay out late. We get to go watch the basketball with our buddies. You know, so those were some of my earliest memories for sure. And then my mom's dad, at his house, we'd always go in the basement and watch on his big screen. He had a big screen, and we always watched the Hoosiers play on there. So AJ Guyton hitting big shots was some of my fondest memories as a kid as well.
So you go back to him, and then what? Fife and Coverdale and Jared Jeffries and those guys.
Yeah. So when I was 12 is when they went to the Final Four. Watching that team go and shock the world really. And Jared obviously being a Bloomington kid, so looking up to him and to go down to Kirkwood and stuff like that. I stayed in the car as a kid, of course, but going down there and just see the sea of people being so excited about the Hoosiers winning the basketball game. That was pretty crazy to see as a 12-year-old, and for me to be able to actually get and go do that and be part of the reason why people went and celebrated in the streets as well. Well, it was pretty special.
Did you ever meet Bob Knight when you were younger?
No, it's crazy. Actually, I've actually never met him in person, which is the wildest thing. Like it's just never worked out. He did send me a really nice note one time. I think it was after I finished my college career. He commented on commentated on one of our games when we played Georgia in New York. And I guess that was the closest that we ever got to that point. But yeah, my grandpa and my grandma, they grew up with him in Ohio. So it's pretty cool.
Well, we'll make sure that changes as soon as you can get to Bloomington.
Hey, I would love that.
Well, John Leskowski owns the Culvers here, and he takes him a special root beer shake every week, in which they don't make root beer shakes, so they have to they have to take the entire machine apart to do something different for that one shake, which he does.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. But yeah, looking forward to that. From the coaching standpoint, you're switching. It's not, I guess, coaching. You will be able to do some coaching now because the NCAA recently changed the rule that only the 4 coaches could instruct. Now, an additional few guys can, and I think your position is one of those, correct?
I'm
you don't even know yet.
I'm waiting to be told. I don't want to say what I can and can't do.
Right. I get it.
Whatever I can do, I will do to the best of my ability, and I'm excited to be around the guys. One of the things, playing over here for 9 years, I get new rookies coming in every year. So for me, I think I can really tailor that to what I'm going to be doing with, whether it's the new recruits or the guys who are already on campus, current players. I can relate to them just because, I'm still playing, so I can kind of relate to them on that level as well. And I think that's really going to help me out, just connecting with different people. I'm all about building relationships, and I think that's going to be really important. And I'm looking forward to the coaching aspect as well. If that is the case, or whatever I'm able to do in that regard, just through my JH1 training stuff that I've been able to do. It's a huge passion of mine, to instruct and to just read the game and talk the game over with people. I just love talking about it. And, I'm looking forward to the opportunity just to be around the game in a different outfit, so to speak, not being a player, but I've tried to take on that role as a point guard. You kind of naturally have that role, wanting to coach on the floor and those kind of things, but to actually not be on the floor anymore and being on the sideline and fully taking it all in. I'm really excited about that, and it's going to be a learning process. And but it's exciting to me just because basketball is all I've ever known, and I think I can do a pretty good job at it.
And ironically, one of Indiana's biggest problems for the last couple of years has been shooting, the lack of ability to shoot exactly what you do. How can you work with guys? Because it can't be just that simple, that, you need to tweak this and tweak that. That's no one else has been able to see, but I know a lot of it is mental, and just and playing professionally for 9 years. Obviously you've learned, and one of the shorter guys out there, you've had to learn to get your shot off quick, to find your shot, to work hard to get shots, to do things. Or is that some of the stuff that you think you can bring to these guys, these younger players?
Yeah, for sure. I think just through playing the game for so long, and the coaching staff has played the game a lot as well. I'm not the only person who will be able to do that, but Most recently, I think being able to teach, whether it's shooting mechanics or just reading pick and rolls or whatever it is, once I get in back to campus and understand kind of what we as a staff are trying to do, I'm more than excited to pitch in whatever I can. And when it comes to shooting, I think that is something I'm good at teaching. It's something that I've over here, whether it's with guys or back home in the summertime when I'm training kids. And like you're saying, a lot of it's mental. So if I have to do that as well, I think I can cover all aspects in that. But again, it's more so I'm excited about just the change of roles, that I think whether that's teaching this or just sitting back and learning, because like I said, I have a lot to learn from the staff. I'm really looking forward to that aspect and seeing different ways to connect with the players and help them be the best that they can be.
Rick?
Jordan, you're in the Bundesliga, is that right? And how far along are you in the playoffs? And then a couple of your buddies I've talked to are Braden Hobbs and Peyton Siva. You played with them?
Yeah, for sure. Peyton, he was in New Zealand this year, and now I think he flew to Greece to finish the season there. And Braden's in Spain this year. So,
Okay.
And I've actually talked to those guys the last couple of weeks, funny enough. But great players. But now in Germany, my playoffs start on the weekend, and from there, then it just depends on how well we do from there. But it's
How many series do you have to win it all?
It'll be 9 games. If we win 9 games, then we win the whole thing. But they drag it out. It's 5-game series, and some. I don't even know the full schedule right now because it depends on how we finish tonight. If we win, then we're the 4th seed. If we lose, then we're the 6th seed. So then it kind of alters the scheduling. But yeah, so 9 games to win it all. So we'll see where we get.
How many Bundesliga championships have you won in your career?
0. It's usually it's no German championships. Last year we were 1st overall in the regular season, and then Munich and Alba Berlin, they play in the EuroLeague. They're the 2 powerhouses of our league, and one of those 2 teams usually is the one who ends up winning it. Or that's what history is telling us. But we beat Alba Berlin twice this year, and Munich's beat us twice. But we have as good a chance as anybody with our style of play. We pick up full court. We play just crazy defense the whole game, and not too many people like to deal with that. So we have a chance against anybody, and that's why we did so well in the Champions League. That's why we were able to get to the Final Four, just with our different style of play and different guys who are able to step up on the offensive end.
And just one more, it's your goal. I know you're a structured guy who's goal oriented. Your goal someday to be a college basketball head coach?
It's crossed my mind, but for me, honestly, since this is, I think coaching is something I've always been passionate about. To what extent, I've never really said, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. I think for me, it's more importantly, it's just been what's best for me and my family at this point. And usually it's been, okay, am I going to go to Germany or am I going to go to a different country? But when it comes to coaching, I think I know that I have a lot to learn in that regard. It's way different being on the court than it is on the sidelines. And I'm really excited for that learning process. And I'd love to be a coach someday, whenever that would be. I'm treating this as, the next step towards, something, who knows, it's hard to predict, but right now I'm just focused on being the best guy on this staff who can do my job. I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and to help, Coach Woodson and the staff do their job to the best of their abilities, and for ultimately the program. That's what's most important to me. I don't really give that too much thought. Of course, I'd love to coach, but right now that's nothing that I put too much thought in.